This video is brought to you by America First Insight. Help support the growing conservative movement by becoming a member today. And if you want to support this channel, you can also use the code REAL when becoming a member. Thank you and enjoy the video. You know, some days I really wonder if the Democrat Party is trying to lose on purpose, because it seems like they, for whatever reason, they just want to lose. Like, every single day, there's something that comes out that makes you think, yeah, this party wants to lose on purpose. They don't want to win whatsoever. And for those that don't know what's going on, the state of New York is looking like an utter disaster for the Democrat Party. Yeah, New York, not a Republican state, not even a swing state, mind you. This is a Democrat state that's been Democrat for decades. And, well, there's a good chance that the party, if they don't get their act together now, the Democrat Party could actually lose the state of New York in 2026 and even beyond. Now, guys, before I continue with today's video, I need you to like and share this video right now. This is the best way to support the content. It helps the video out of the algorithm, so like and share the video right now. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Another great way to support the content. But enough of the promotional stuff. We got to talk about the state of New York, because I have no clue what this party is trying to do. Like, the Democrat Party, they're already at historical lows. Their popularity is below, like, 25%. No one likes them. Yeah, people don't like Republicans either, but compared to Democrats, the Republican Party is beloved. At least they're at, like, 40%, which is not good, but compared to Democrats, yeah, you would rather be at 40, 45%, maybe a bit higher than be at, I don't know, 21%, if that, and it seems like every day that number goes lower. But either way, the Democrat Party, they could actually lose to New York in 2026. I can't believe I'm saying that, and I want to be clear about one thing. I am not saying that's a guarantee that they lose to New York come 2026. That's not an official prediction, but I do believe at the bare minimum, this race is going to be a lot closer than it should be. And I know we've talked a lot about this race in the past couple of months, but in the last couple of weeks, it's become apparent that Democrats, they could be facing an unmitigated disaster here, and they're not waking up to it. That they're not realizing that, oh, wait a minute, this could be a disaster. As just a couple days ago, the Lieutenant Governor of New York, Antonio Delgado, he just announced his candidacy to be the next governor of New York. Yeah, the Lieutenant Governor is officially primarying out Kathy Hochul. Yeah, Kathy Hochul's still running for re-election, so you have the Lieutenant Governor going against the current Governor of New York. Yeah, that alone should tell you that, okay, Democrats have a huge problem here, because this is going to be a very, very messy primary. Just with Delgado running, that alone makes this such a disastrous primary, because, yeah, Kathy Hochul, more than likely, she's going to win the primary. She has the support of the Democrat establishment, like Hakeem Jeffries, like the Democrat Governors Association, but she's losing her own lieutenant governor. That's not a good look for you. That is awful. And who knows, maybe Richie Torres, a progressive from New York City, he might run as well. So yeah, this ain't a primary that Kathy Hochul's for sure going to lose or whatever, but at the bare minimum, she's not going to get like 95% of the primary vote. She may win it by a decent margin, but not by the margin you should win if you're the incumbent. That's the problem here. That alone is not looking good for Democrats. The fact that already you have the Lieutenant Governor running against Hochul, and Richie Torres might still run, who, I still think Kathy Hochul wins a primary by a decent margin. You know, a couple points here, maybe like 10, 15 points. But even then, that's not that big of a victory, especially for the incumbent. Now, it does sound crazy to suggest that, well, Democrats could lose New York. After all, back in 2024, Harris still won the state by, I think it was like 13 or 15 points, which compared to, say, 2020 is not that good, or even 2016 or whatever. It was not a good result in 2024. And it's clear the state has been trending Republican for the last couple of years. But it still sounds crazy to suggest that, oh yeah, Democrats could actually lose in New York because of potentially one disastrous primary that looks pretty bad. I mean, it looks awful. But it's not just one primary that's causing this mess. If it was just one bad primary and Republicans got behind one candidate, yeah, it might make the race close, but it does explain why I believe that no matter who wins a primary, there's a good chance that this party could actually lose in New York. That's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying it because, well, later this year, there's going to be a big mayor election in the city of New York. And I really believe what happens in this race will kind of decide, or at least influence, what happens in 2026, because you think the Democrat primary for the governorship is bad. It is bad. It's like a three-way shitfest right now. I guess it's two right now, but it could be three. Well, compared to the mayor election, a two-way primary is nothing. As on the Democrat side for the mayor election, there's like 15 people running. They're all major candidates. They're all getting like 5 to 6% of the vote. And I know it's New York. They do ranked choice voting. But there really are two main candidates that right now are the front runners. And again, a lot could happen with ranked choice voting. We don't know. But Democrats have really one of two options. They could either pick Andrew Cuomo, the former governor of the state that a lot of people don't like, but compared to the opposition, the other candidates, he might be the only Democrat here that has half a brain, that at least pretends to understand what people want. As his main opponent is Zohran Mamdani, who, in my opinion, is one of the weakest Democrats could have found anywhere. I have no clue where Democrats find this guy from, or people like him from. It doesn't make any sense. This guy's a complete lunatic. He's insane on the issues. I mean, he's basically running on, oh, we're going to freeze all rent. It's all this progressive BS that everyone knows doesn't work. It's going to kill the city, make it even more awful to live in. And right now, he is surging. This lunatic, just a couple weeks ago, was down by like 28 or 35 points. Now, according to Emerson College, he's losing still, but by only 8 points. What? You're only losing by 8 points now? Compared to just 2-3 weeks ago, you were down by 30, 35 points? Yeah, there's a good chance that Zohran Mamdani could actually win the primary. Which sounds crazy, but that's ranked choice voting. If it wasn't for ranked choice voting, Cuomo would win easily. He would win by 15, 20 points. But the problem for him is, well, it's ranked choice voting. And a lot of the other candidates, they're all insane. None of these people are even remotely moderate. They're basically all partisan Dems, all progressives, and more than likely, their voters are going to get behind Mamdani. And if that happens and Mamdani actually wins a primary, this general election is going to be one of the funniest things ever. As Andrew Cuomo, he might lose a primary, but he's going to still run. As right now, he actually got the nomination for a third party that I think he created. Yeah, the Fight and Deliver Party. So more than likely, even if he loses the primary, which I think he still wins it, but by a small margin, well, he could still run. You already have Eric Adams running. You already have another Democrat like Jim Walden. He's running also. You have a bunch of Democrats running third party. And if Mamdani loses the primary, which I still think he does, it sounds like another third party is going to support him for the general. Yeah, this looks like an utter shit show. This looks like a disaster. It's basically a four-way split in the vote if this happens. It is looking bad for Democrats. I mean, this is horrible. You're going to have Eric Adams versus Andrew Cuomo versus Mamdani, and there's going to be one Republican that runs, Curtis Sliwa, who I don't think he's going to win right now, but if he just gets like 35, 40% of the vote, even like 32%, that could be enough to actually win the general. But here's the thing. I don't think he's going to win, and if he doesn't win, New York is screwed, because you know who's more than likely going to win the general? More than likely, it's going to be Mamdani. I really believe if he somehow squeaks by the nomination, more than likely, he will win the general. And if he wins the general, becomes the mayor of New York, that city is going to fall apart. That city is going to be even worse off. And that's why I believe that come 2026, the Republican surge in New York could continue, or if not accelerate. Because if you have a lunatic like that who gets like 35, 40% of the vote because there's like a four-way split, if he barely wins and the majority of people don't like him, and he turns out to be just a shitty mayor that makes the city even worse, what do you think's going to happen? People are going to blame the Democrat Party even more. They're going to be like, wait a minute, we elected this nut job, and he got like 40% of the vote, and he's destroying the city even more, and the Democrat Party is doing nothing about it. They're making things even worse. This could accelerate trends in the state even more. And that's why Democrats in New York, they want Cuomo to win a primary. They do. Because if he doesn't, and Mamdani pulls it off, more than likely he wins a general by a small margin, he would make the city even worse. And people would blame Democrats even more. They have in the last 10 to 15 years, because they've had Democrat mayors, and they've all sucked. And now, you get somebody even more insane, someone worse than even Eric Adams. At least Eric Adams, he pretends to be a moderate once in a great while. Once a month, he might pretend to be a moderate. Same thing with Cuomo. Sometimes, once a month or whatever, he's a moderate. Mamdani is a lunatic. And if he's the mayor of New York City, it's going to get even worse there. It's going to make things significantly worse. And that's going to drag Democrats down even further, because that's New York City. If Democrats keep crashing and burning in New York City, they're screwed. Because they have nothing outside of maybe like Buffalo in the state. That's all they got. Again, I'm not saying Democrats lose New York City or whatever, but if they keep going down like 5, 10, 15% every single year, at some point, they're not going to win New York. They mathematically can't. You see the problem here? Democrats have so many problems right now that I don't know how they recover if Mamdani wins. Even Cuomo, I don't know. Cuomo might stop things a little bit, but even then, trends are looking horrible for Dems here. It's looking bad. Republicans, meanwhile, if they run somebody halfway decent like Michael Lawler, if you run somebody like that for governor, and Democrats have Mamdani as mayor, and they have a three-way shitfest for the primary, I may sound crazy, but I think Michael Lawler wins. I really believe he would win if all that happens. Again, a lot could happen. We don't know for sure what's going to happen in New York City. But the fact that Democrats might actually pick somebody like that is crazy. I never thought in a million years they were going to actually pick Mamdani. I thought they were going to go with like Eric or Andrew Cuomo. They may not like him, but at least you could argue has kind of half a brain, maybe. Mamdani, though, is just a lunatic. And you're going to elect him? Who even the majority of Democrats right now, they don't even want him. But he is surging every single day in the polling. And come June 14th or whenever the primary is, there's a good chance that Mamdani, he probably does get a majority of the vote. And at that point, good luck. Good luck in the general. That's going to be a disaster. You're going to probably lose in that scenario. And if you don't lose, you're stuck with him. So, good luck. Good luck to your party. It's pathetic. This party cannot comprehend why they're losing. It's as if you're picking insane people like Mamdani, who should be nowhere near the mayorship. Nowhere near it. He should not have any kind of chance of winning. He should be pulling at like 0.1%, if that. The fact that he has a chance to actually beat Andrew Cuomo, a former governor who I know is unpopular, I get that, but still, really? You might pick Mamdani for his insane policies and to spike Cuomo. That's just not a smart idea. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.